You know, when you're an AD carry, if you're thinking about Tempered Fate as your win con, you know, I can shut that down, then your comp has other issues, I think.
Yeah.
The Jarvan is going to smash this Sivir. There's so many types of CC, there's so many ways to pop that spell shield, they only have one opportunity to use, that Morgan finds himself 20 farm behind because he also swapped down here, was losing the lane before, then loses the lane in the swap, and so D+ just running this early game from Prio alone.
League.
Break with tradition.
Yeah. So Lucid got the Drake, and now he's going to get all three of the grubs. You know, he hasn't invaded a lot. He's behind 2 CS, but I don't think he cares because he's getting everything for his team, and he's feeling very good about it.
I mean, Showmaker's just using Tibbers for Prio, just dropping it on closer repeatedly here, knowing that TPs are down for both of them. That's going to guarantee he can rotate faster. They're still winning this top 2v2. Beryl has Tempered Fate, so you know, there's even the consideration potentially here of coming up and trying to gank some sums if you're loose, even though he had that ult advantage over Showmaker that you pointed out. So D+ are just like, we got TP advantage topside. I think that's why we saw that all-in attempt from Morgan there. He's like, well, I at least got to get his health. I don't think he thinks he can kill there, but he's like, if we get his health low, he'll have to back. He'll have to either then decide to TP to the fight or give me plate gold in the top side, but he misses the ultimate.
In fact, at least they've shored up a lot of the gold deficits from the lane, so Bro have that going for them. As Apollo's just going to throw out the ult here, and the Mega Cone out from Lucid means that we don't have the Magnet Storm coming in from the side of Apollo, but we have the rest of the engage. The Shockwave going to hit Beryl only, as now Lucid is totally fine, and everybody's baited into the Aurora ult. In comes Lucid with the Mega Cone engaged. They try to turn onto him. A lot of CC comes out from him, but that's going to be about it, as he does go down, as eventually Palu as well will follow suit. Really, the only question is when, as that'll be the win for DK in this fight. As down he goes, the kill goes to Beryl.
Beryl notorious for being a bloodthirsty bard. He is getting a lot of the kills when he's on this fake. Fate's pretty strong.
A little dive on a Showmaker, but he's totally fine, and Krakos is dead! Looks like a dive went horrifically wrong in the bottom lane.
Goes for the engage under turret Ragro, and now I don't even want to know what's going on down here.
Yeah, Apollo a bit zoned, and yeah, Beryl gonna take that kill, absolutely. Could have maybe waited for Tibbers to get the kill, but that's...
Also fails. And now Paulo, obviously flashless from that second to last engage. Means that his next engage opportunity on potentially the Soul Point fight is also going to be a little bit less. So lots of L's here for Bro in the early game. Find themselves only 2,000 gold behind, but tempo is completely against them. Paulo loses a fourth of his health bar.
Yeah, I mean, it looks like they're desperately trying to get in here and challenge this Rift Herald. I mean, they're even going to redemption it, as it looks like it's just going to be up to the eye hit. It goes over to Lucid, barely. He's got a Mega Cone to get in and get the eye and get out, as he's Jarvan. Nice little Mission Impossible play there from Lucid. DK, Showmaker's getting the bottom turret, they're getting the Rift Herald, they're winning all the fights. Interaction until it's just like some random RNG chance, and it's actually been like good blast gun usage, so I've actually enjoyed it myself this game, which is a rare sight.
It is. Rare sight and rare sounds to hear you admit it as well, but we have, you know, occasionally heard Valdez be positive about it. It's dropped here. This turret is just gone, and they might even be able to get the inner as well. They're grouped for it. Charge is going to go through. I thought perhaps they were going to try to deny the charge, D+, that is, to kill the turret first and then look for a follow-up there. Instead, they back away. They don't have the Tempered Fate.
A lot of locketing, feels like nowadays.
Remember Shirelius? Remember that item?
Yeah, did see it. I think it was built yesterday as like a second item, or maybe it was last week. But yeah, I think that was like the first time in a long time. Just doesn't feel very common to even look for that. They now kite away, but I think they're just going to have to back away from this entirely. If they hold this, they will regret it. Palu looking for a flank here, but is seen. I mean, you're playing into Bard as well. Like, Beryl can set up this fight with an ult if need be, if you're going to get it very low. The engage, though, goes on a Showmaker, and the Temper Fate is late. Same time, though, Morgan just going to be picked off for some reason on the top side. Looks like Aiming and Lucid were able to catch him. Exhaust comes in on a Krako. Now massive Aurora ult on a 4. Catches everyone, and they try to turn on a Shiu. He just gets away, and the ticking damage is insane. Everybody's super low. Hype can't do enough. He has to be in melee range. Krako falls as well. And it's not a leash Otacon, but it's going to be Otacon still for DK on top of a gigantic fight.
The target selection very poor for Bro in the latter part of that fight.
You're feeling pretty good. Aiming is just Valkyrieing into Ambessa and not caring at all. Lucid looking for the kill now on a Morgan as he immediately turns that one around. Morgan gonna have the redemption as well. Misses his ult though. Xiu just runs in and dies. Does get a big ult himself, but now both the top laners down. Beryl is out, and that is not the ult we were looking for, Paulo, as he is immediately just going to be pummeled by Lucid, and the damage from this Corki is just obscene as finally Showmaker gonna join the fight, flash W's, and gets the pick off, and that will be Chemtech Soul for DK.
And the fight looked kind of good there for Bro in its initial outset. I mean, Xiu got a lot done with his ultimate, but fell instantly. Beryl is also taken out.
That's what we showed as well, that Xiu has actually done more damage than aiming. I'm actually a bit surprised by that, but he has had some really huge ults. Also, that Krako's down 2 levels on the Pantheon. You know, this is a big prio pick right now in the LCK. As speaking of which, the Pantheon is bot lane. We'll see if they can even kill Xiu. He's desperately trying to get to the other side. And yes, he goes down, but you're giving over this as Palu does have Smite.
He does have Smite. He will be able to potentially try to get over the wall here.
Pantheon has his ult, but I feel like it's a little bit too little too late. Palu is going to come down to you as he goes over the wall, and it's not going to go to you at all as Lucid is able to smite it down. Has the advantage there. The Shockwave, just desperation as D plus Kia, they give up their top laner for Baron.
That's not jungle Rel. That's not old damage to monsters Rel.
Okay. Not the best magical journey, but it's just okay. Closer just okay. He's dead up on the top lane, and meanwhile, Beryl actually baited this a little bit. We got Tibbers in here. Showmaker says, I can take the 1v4. It's fine.
E plus?
I have Zhonya's. And the rest of the team is trying to come on over here. And by the rest of the team, I mean Lucid. And the TP is coming in. I suppose that's why he kept on going on this. No flag available for Lucid. Now he gets it back. As now we've got the Aurora back in the fight. And immediately it is going to be the long-term bait and switch here. As triple kill comes through. And, well, the disengage cone does come in. But that's fine as D plus Kia will just push mid.
Every time it feels like in these drafts, D plus have maybe made a bit of an overextension, maybe playing a little bit with their food. She was like, I got this. Gets a penta on the Nexus defense on this champ. This time around is going to win them the team fight, picks up a triple. And D plus here, you know, with a responding Sivir in 20 seconds, can't kill the Nexus, I don't think, unless Bro make a mistake here on their attempted defense of this inhibitor, which they should absolutely let go. But this game is all but over. It has been for a while, but this is kind of the cherry on top here for D plus at this. As in live, we're having a bit of a tussle. But I want to see Xiu clean up again. Oh, this is boring.
Oh, we got to see the Pantheon losing. You know, that's very important for morale here at the LCK. As the engage from Paulo once again not quite in, and the damage out of Xiu now is just disgusting. Level 17, big Shockwave comes in, but I think they're just a bit too far behind as Beryl is eventually going to go down, but everybody else just gets blown to smithereens. It's a quadra for aiming at the end of this one, and that will be game number 1. Going the way of D plus Kia. 11-0 was aiming on the Corki, who absolutely just took over the game. As that'll do it. At 30 minutes, DK take the win. That's the way it works in League of Legends.
And then, like, Rumble presses R on top of her, and Ari gets in there and charms her.
Yeah.
And Jin shoots from far away, and you're like, okay, well, that's kind of your win con down the drain. So Hype has to...
Well, you know, I had to get it. I had to do it. Sorry,
see the flag there, right there?
Yeah, I can see it, yeah.
Yeah, he's got a coffee machine right back there. He's brewing.
Yeah, it's kind of like...
You can make it out, right?
Yeah. Ooh, equalizer here. Level 6, and... Oh, no, Morgan, not like this. As the evidence from Dagon not really coming to fruition.
Right before his coffee was done!
And that's first blood in a solo kill going over to Xiu.
Yeah, that's... This matchup can go both ways, but, well, like you say, Beryl does.
Yeah, I don't really think you can fight this. They're trying to get on top of Xiu, though, as the equalizer comes down, and immediately Bro is like, well, we got to turn around now. Bit of damage is done to Xiu, as in comes the Spirit Rush. Krako trying to engage. The rest of the team not able to follow up at all, as the charm comes through after the flash here. And now finally we have Closer coming on in. Morgan has to flash the wall himself, but bit of extra damage comes in from Showmaker. Flash on him with the Q. Gets the kill on a Krako. That's going to be a big win here in the early game for DK as they're getting the grubs, they're getting the top plates, they're getting the kills, Wolf.
You know the crazy thing about, I keep criticizing Ari in these drafts, Because so many times in pro games, you see Ahri Vi, let's just say, for example. Why? Because it's so simple as, oh, press R to interrupt a back. Barrel's going to do that as they get another plate here, but Ahri works well with Vi because Vi ults in, you can't miss your charm, right? It's guaranteed, it's great synergy.
He just gets the kills. And he did get the 1 kill. He got the 2 stacks on his Dark Seal already. As Subjugate going to be utilized here. They want to fight big time. Lucid just running in a straight line at them as now we have the hook to come in. Palu forced to engage onto the Ahri. That's not going to work out. As now Hype 1v3. We do have the knockback is huge from Closer, but a bit of damage over the wall, and Hype is all alone. The charm comes in. And yes, they lost their Nautilus. As Closer now wants to do a bit more. It looks like they should be able to take out Lucid, or maybe not, actually. The flash over the wall, and he is going to be just fine. And even Showmaker just playing with his food, just making room for aiming to push them away.
Should have been dead, like, by rights. Like, there were so many reasons why Showmaker should not have walked out alive. And you know what? I think it's a Majai's game. You don't die there. You buy Majai's 100% if you're Showmaker. Rolling down the hill. It's not Talia's. She doesn't have a snowball, but like she has ice, so
yeah, I was wondering where you're going with that one. As now, even holding on to the subjugation, says Lucid, they don't even need that, as that's going to be another kill and 2 more stacks for Showmaker this game.
Or first brick. Which doesn't even matter, because they already got feats of strength, but he's going to take it just the same.
Yeah. All 3 going their way. And I mean, I'm just really surprised they gave over the Rumble, especially to someone like Shiu, who, yeah, he had a big dip.
I've been saying, but it has caught up with him a little bit. We'll get more on the comp later, as we are going to have a bit of a fight here on Herald.
All right, they're engaging onto the Trundle. Definitely not the right choice here, as Krako getting extremely low. Might live because of the redemption. So much going down, but no, he's going to fall. The Rift Herald also goes over to DK, and it's kind of a lackluster attempt from Bro to try to fight over this objective. They wanted to sneak it away, and instead they're going to end up losing a bunch of lives, plus the objective, which is going to be summoned here in the mid lane.
And I mean,
yeah.
Is that just it? Did Bro just get 2-0, like with not even a whimper? It feels in this entire series. I guess so. You know, this is not the Bro we saw crush D plus the last 2 times. He's gonna get another charge here.
Easy.
Top
the angle.
Bye-bye.
But wait, it was already dead. Use it again.
Shiu is like getting insane value of his passive, hitting turrets with auto attacks. Yeah, we knew it was coming. It's Showmaker.
It's just the fact that it's already online. It's just not okay. Krako gonna have to flash away. That's not what you want to do on the Wukong. So now Bro are like, well, we gotta do something, right? We're gonna go in. We're gonna try to take the fight, but instead it just leads to total disaster, because they're not even going to get Barrel. It just seems kind of very half-hearted at the moment. Is now the flash on in, they're gonna get the clone.
Shiu just not even here, by the way. Just want to point that out. He shows up now.
Yeah, Morgan is just dead as well on top of it all. Had his flash, didn't even bother to use it. He knows 100%.
And then you have things like the draft, for example. Both drafts have been a little bit shaky for Bro. This feels like a round 1, round 2 Bro draft, where Morgan's like, I'm one of the best Yoriks in the league. It's a little bit fringe, but I'll play it. And Challengers is one of his best picks, but find yourself behind. He had that one opportunity to get accelerated. He failed. This is going to be a bit late.
Yeah, they're at least going to get the knockback, but he still had Celestial opposition. So Barrel's like, yeah, cool story. Pillar's going to come down. Now he's going for the re-engage. And even if he goes down, they're all baited into this fight big time. Exhaust goes down onto the Trundle, who really does not care about that at all. The Showmaker just stacking up more and more Magi stacks as if he needed any more. Lucid going to steal that kill, but he's still going to hit 20. And this game was over before this fight, but DK really putting the final nail in the coffin.
When you're behind a Zeri and you have Hexplate, you're not doing as much damage. The movement speed, the health isn't going to matter as much when you're the last man standing with everyone else on the enemy team at full health. And I think when he decided to start building that item, he did not expect, or at least not hope, that his team was going to be this far behind at 20 minutes. But you can see in some of these fights, he's doing what Zeri can do.
One harpoon to the face of Hype just means he's basically out of the fight. They're going to try to get the objective bounty, which I think they do get, but they're also going to lose an inhibitor for it. I mean, I suppose it's all you can do at this point. By the way, Baron can't even spawn yet. We're not even there. They're just getting an inhibitor in the bottom lane. And it looks like Cloud Soul on the way for them at the same time.
For D+, there's more than just a inhibitor at stake. Shiu maybe losing a bounty.
Hide on Bush. As he flashes on in, Hype is dead 100%. Shiu looking for more. Thankfully, there's a lot of people here.
I mean, Closer picks up 1,000 gold, but they're on that Otacon. And there's a super minion wave heading down both mid and bottom lane that is going to have to be cleaned up here for Bro. This is just going to be a freebie, double objective in return. If Hype gets the kill there, if Shiu doesn't flash on him and kill him, and Hype picks up 1,000 gold, maybe you could dream. Like, you could try to make up a scenario in your head where, like, maybe that Zeri will carry. I'm sure Digon's doing it right now as we speak. He's like, hold on, maybe we get to the late game. But then Shiu's like, you want 1,000 gold for your Zeri? I'm just not going to allow that. Sure, it gets picked up here by the Talia, which is still a big win, but you wanted that on your Zeri so badly. That's why you made the play, and what you give up is double inhibs, double objective, Cloud Soul. I don't think I predicted either. I think I predicted DRX against Bros. Closer goes for Hail Mary. Barrel celestially opposed to being picked off.
All right. Well, we got TPs coming in. Shiu is right here. This is an excellent angle for the equalizer. He hits all three of them. And now he is actually going to get knocked up before that Zhonya's does go off. I believe he had that, which is why he was so aggressive. And yeah, doesn't matter because the rest of the team is here. And they will do enough damage to take them down eventually. As Lucid, very tanky, can just kind of dive the turret. But with the Maiden there, actually, he's taking a bit more damage than I expected. Nice ghoulie wall to come in, but Showmaker is here with 25 stacks on the Majais, and this game, guys, is over, and has been over for about 15 minutes.
Yeah, certainly one of the faster games here this week as D+ decimate OK Savings Bank Breon, and a match that means very little for D+, and a match that for Bro meant almost everything. Without a strong pre-6 jungler, though, to follow up, I think they should be fine down there in the bottom lane. My biggest concern is that this comp for KT has basically no engage still. Bard can maybe set up an equalizer.
Perfect's doing a better job of surviving, per se.
So far.
But he's also not farming at all because the lane's pushing away from him. So you've got Canyon up here, and there's a Canyon growing between our top laners because Perfect doesn't really get to play the game.
Here, I mean, he needs money and XP, but right now XP is going to give him 6 at least.
Uh-oh, he got hit by that. That is a big problem as now in a lot of trouble. Perfect just burning. He's just trying to avoid everything. We already have traps set up here as one more shot could do it, as the grenade will do it, and Ruler will pick up first blood.
I do think that's a pretty good read from you as to what could have happened, but Cuz also just not really giving any resources over to help bail him out of that situation either. It means he's just on an island.
Oh, they did not expect this, as Canyon was hiding for so long and Cuz was nearby, but he avoided the scan in the bush, and he was able to get the perfect engage off, and BDD even flashing.
KT were able to secure the first dragon 2.5 minutes ago, so at least they got that.
Yeah.
Was secure. That's part of why Perfect was left on that island there on the top side. Speaking of Perfect...
Oh boy, he's piking around.
He's piking around!
He's piking around, he's getting in range, and Perfect does not have his flash available. The sun comes down, the question is, do they have the damage? They do not. Keen does not.
He's trying to get minions. There's just so much gold going to the wayside here in this game.
Oh, piking around, and we got a Wukong around as well, spinning around right on top of them with a shockwave as well. Cuz with the subjugation still not going to survive. Duro kind of gets that ult off at the very end and gets that bonus gold.
As they are trying to deny one at the same time, speaking of objectives, but there's just not enough KT here. There's too much Gen.G.
They absolutely cannot. He has to flash away. As they were just hanging around in the river, maybe trying to deny the dragon, but that was not going to happen unless he steals it.
Oh, so close. Good reaction from Canyon there.
Buff jungle of Cuz, and they will be successful at doing that. The smite comes down. As Perfect is down 2 levels to Chovy, who really wanted to go for that kill, but probably smartly does not. As Temper Fade gonna come out, but the hook's still gonna go off for the 4th shot. Gets it done. Peter is dead in his first game of Bard. He has checked 3 of the brushes. Will he check number 4? Yes, he will, but it might not matter as the root comes down. There's 4 people here. Shockwave used. He will flash away, but the pillar saved, and the chomp does come in.
BDD would have loved to have that gold. Still decent on a Trundle there.
Pyke also very good at, roaming around, piking around in his case, just like the Bard. So having a big map impact already is Duro.
Yeah, he's really quite with a Pyke roaming around the jungle, being very annoying. Beats of strength picked up. if you didn't catch it, and then like what the feats of strength are. We're still explaining that. Probably by maybe next year we won't do it anymore, but it is.
I can get pretty close, actually.
Yeah, why didn't
I'm pretty good at it.
Why didn't you though?
I mean, I have before. I just don't want to, you know, don't want to overdo it.
Yeah, you think we have a long series ahead of us here?
Yeah, there's a lot of time left in this, so I don't want to annoy people too early. You know, it's only the end of game 1.
Looking at it, it's hard to explain this game in terms of like what KT can do. I mean, what they can do is deny a charge.
It's a big shockwave. They just ran over that ball. Keen has taken so much damage for seemingly no reason. We also did have a fight in mid as a kill went down onto Duck Dom. Peter also died down there. And Ruler's really enjoying his life right now.
Yeah.
What is he even?
I was just watching Keen. Hold on. Anyway, this was a Herald Maxer.
He calls it. He's like, all right, I'm going to like do a little wraparound because of the Bard ult.
Let's watch Bard. Shockwave. Oh, they were looking for as Equalizer here to maybe set up for a potential flank, but Gen.G just bail out of the situation. They're not going to stay, not going to overstay their welcome. And
yeah, the hook is going to sail wide. Keen really trying to get the angle on his ult here. Let's see the turn. The Temper Fate just totally sailing wide onto Keen, and it was only Keen. Hook comes forward. That's onto the jungler. They're trying to take out Cuz.
Unsuccessful, though.
The damage is going to stop, though, on the... Oh, they're just going to go and chomp it and steal it away, as now Gen.G, they want to go for the follow-up fight here, but Cuz is seemingly incapable of dying, as now Toby's going to go down. Ruler as well. And KT, a big fight here on the comeback.
Realmore for the chase, as BDD does not have flash, gets the heal.
Get away, I believe. Peter pretty fast.
Cuz with the Hex Gate.
How far can he run? This is insane. Disengage cone, but the subjugate thankfully gonna take him down. As meanwhile, okay, Duro just gonna put an end to that noise.
Is what gets them into this, gets them the objective, as we do have that Dragon Main taken alive. I thought we had a fight, so that freaked me out, but the later fight here as well, Realm Warp was there for the chase. The Equalizer not able to take out Canyon.
Duro cleared the bot vision.
Look at the amount of farm that BD has still been able to accrue here. He's about to get Death Cap, and if they just let this turret go but don't take a bad fight, and then BDD gets Death Cap, I mean, he's starting to become a big threat in this game damage-wise.
And so KT just immediately have to back away, and that's going to give potential flank angles to Keen.
I think KT should slow play this, just play around the Tempered Fate defensively, make Gen.G come to you, maybe set up for the Equalizer combo. I mean, the angles here are so good for Perfect, but he's waiting. He's so patient with this.
Yeah, so what KT's comp does very well is accept the pressure and back away. But they haven't been able to set up on an objective and actually fight like that so far. So this will be their opportunity.
Playing around this Rise sideline is so good. Here comes the engage from Gen.G.
All right, Equalizer comes down. Toby's just incredibly low already, as now Keen has to flash away, but they just gave up the Hextech Soul, Cuz not even able to get in there. The Shockwave for the disengage. And they get out. Gen.G got away with murder there, essentially. As now the exhaust comes down on the Canyon, he is going to decoy away.
Contest Cuz with no flash. There is just no way.
BDD's level 18 at least. We'll see if that's enough, as Gen.G will slightly pull off of the Baron. Not going to take any damage from that, and looks like it might just come down to a flip, as Cuz is going to get in the pin, and he wipes it down! KT, an opportunity here.
BDD on the flank still.
Still on the flank. You saw that Gen.G.
We'll be happy with just a bunch of resets because we got Baron buff. That's outer turret in mid, and maybe they could even push for enter. They decide not to. Just fight even with Flash Cyclone because BDD is just lurking on the edge. Look at this.
And with the Hextech Soul,
Canyon on the flank.
I say that. Here comes Canyon. The Temper Fate already utilized, and now he can't use it on the defense. Peter is just dead. And the damage has been done. The Equalizer does basically nothing, only hits the clone. And the Elder is live.
All right, this is where we're going to have to see some fancy movement from Cuz. Still no flash back up. He's going to have to walk his way in again.
Oh, they have control of Banana Rush. They're just going to turn here. Perfect is dead. After the Zonyas, of course, as down he will go. Duro takes that money to the bank.
Duckdom's poke starting to stack up here, but it's not alone enough. BDD's going to have to come for the flank.
He's just going to have to send it, I think. They can't lose the Elder, but now the turn coming in. But look at the damage. Duro is down.
It's
already. Toby nearly going to go down low, but the shockwave BDD had to just run at them, and they kited it out perfectly. As BDD goes down, they don't quite have the damage. Ruler is hunting. And, well, Cuz, he's going to try to get out of here, but he gets Elder down instead. And Gen.G, they were walking a tightrope this entire game.
He spent a lot of time inside. He was waiting, biding his time for that one big moment. But Chovy said no. Gen.G say no. And they will win this game that felt like they won long ago. KT made it close. Cuz and BDD made it close, but it's not enough in the end.
That's definitely not, as Peter once again going to go down. Unfortunately, not the bar performance I was hoping for from this player. He'll have to go back to the practice room for that one, as Gen.G will take game number 1.
The tricky thing is that Yunara should never be in range for that to happen. And otherwise, it's kind of like Ari's super mobile, Jarvan super mobile team fights, but sometimes you can just outplay. As Peter says no to this back.
We're just running into the bush. I mean, they will definitely say no and maybe say a little bit more. First blood given over to Yunara in the bottom lane. And a big wave denied away from Ruler as well.
We don't want to play. We want that Rakan.
Meanwhile, in the mid lane, Ruler, or rather Peter, coming on in, as now should be a kill with the W comes through. As Peter sets up the kill here for BDD.
Maybe goes behind him.
Oh, the charm.
Charm is good. Follow up. Pull gets the headbutt after. And it's a good shove from Chovy, but unfortunately he's not obviously able to hit the Ari, so BDD follows him, gets the flash in, gets the kill.
That's fair. You got a flashless Talia. You know, our spacers were talking about. Oh, speaking of which, and now actually trying to set up a play, and absolutely it'll work. It's a setup here to take down BDD. Canyon picks up the kill right as the grubs spawn.
Yeah, this is a really come and catch this bottom side wave because he's just not needed here. Lose a few minions. No way.
That's a fully. Oh, Chovy. He cut it short. Actually, a mistake from Chovy is going to lead to Duckdom surviving. Meanwhile, they're trying to fight here. Canyon has his ult up. They're going to get 3 grubs, and now the turn comes down on a Peter. They're going to take him out, and Duckdom's just too low. Running on in, Keen says, I can take him. He doesn't have his flash. That's going to be a kill for the Scion, and now Cuz and BDD trying to make something happen here. They land the charm. BDD, that's a couple of kills their way. As Chovy kind of low on mana, you can see BDD threatening as well, just pushing him away. Cuz goes back in, and there's the charm to deny the Q, but still, the outplay from Keen as he flashes over, and now BDD's in trouble. Even low on mana, Chovy is doing the damage, but it's just going to be Keen styling all over them.
There, but then, suddenly, Chovy gets the snipe. Like, that's the biggest problem right there. Jarvan goes down, and Keen is, he's bomby cindering.
Kills him with the ult. Comes up right at the end. Question mark ping as well.
Gonna be his biggest spike, but would have at least helped him some of that damage. Speaking of damage.
Yeah, Peter in a bunch of trouble. Gonna have to go with the Unbreakable Will, but he's still taking a bunch of damage. Duckdom's like, I don't know if I can even help you, buddy. Peter forced to flash away. As now Keen gonna be denied the ult out. It looks like he is done for as well. He's just gonna go for the wave here. Meanwhile, looking for the follow-up dive.
I think that was a very wisely cautioned out maneuver. Perfect got pinged the second he went for the proxy. I think Gen.G were like, stop him. It create a lot of, it costs a lot of resources.
Okay.
Yeah, going in.
Really trying to set this one up. Nearly dies, and well, okay, yeah, he's just dead. Hard to explain that one.
Limit testing.
His team was nearby, but like, yeah.
Not that nearby though. There's a Ari, Yunara in your area.
Oh no. All right, follow up here, Cuz in a bunch of trouble. Redemption comes down, and the Yunara is beginning to go crazy, but still able to push her away before she does any real damage. Meanwhile, we got ults down on the bottom side. Joey makes his way in. As Duckdown makes his way over the wall. Gonna pull back the Scion now, but Keen incredibly tanky here in the front line. Duckdown not able to do enough, but finally they get the follow-up knock-up, and he will be able to do enough, and that is a shutdown as well, as they'll take down Keen.
The Kraken has been slain. He did a lot of damage in that fight, Duckdown did. They just kind of locked Keen down and Duckdom punched him. Looks like Gen.G are going to double Dragon just the same, as Cuz is just nowhere nearby.
Hextech again.
Wow. Double Dragon into Hextech, which will not be feats of strength because Gen.G already got that.
Yeah. Decently big wave will be denied, but Rift Herald taken by Gen.G in response. They can use that for the mid lane probably.
It's needed, as a lot of other mid laners would if the Yunara goes down. Even with the reset potential, this is not the Showmaker full Magi Sorry.
Flash on it.
Committing.
TP now all out. Does come down from Perfect, but the TP flank from the Taliyah. The knockup does come in, but eventually you are just dead.
Yeah, this is a
faded in, I suppose, by Keen.
Yeah, there's a bit of a misjudge there. The rest of his team has Prio in mid, but still, that's a long way away. Chovy does commit his TP, but it's not all for nothing, because Canyon just shadows him here and he gets the turret. Yeah. So it's a big win. They get the kill, they get the turret. A lot of injection of money here.
They think Chovy's alone. He is not quite alone, as the ult is actually going to get the knockup and deny Chovy from taking all that much damage, as now the follow-up goes into BDD, going to force that Spirit Rush. And meanwhile, Gen.G are pushing them away on the top side here too. Duckdom trying to go in, but the quickness comes out. Keen making his way up, as now very nice knockup does come out from Peter. They're trying to take out this Yunara, or at least the front line that will block for her. And the big one gonna take down the Alistar, as Perfect uses his TP just to potentially die in this one. Has to get out as he is Cassante, but the fully charged Q comes through, and he does TP to his death, unfortunately, as Gen.G beginning to run the Rift already.
You're in the fountain, spamming D, clicking as fast as you can, because you're like, I know if I'm there, this fight looks so different. And because Perfect can't be here and King can, it's just not a fight you can win. Duckdom flashes away. He has to put all of his damage into a Scion. And even when BDD shows up, it's like, nah. And Perfect's here, too late.
Yeah. Again, like I said before, she is like really the only threat, as Chovy takes a bunch of damage, but does a bunch himself. Duro with the follow-up, and now Cuz just trying to peel, as is Perfect, but look at Duckdom, he's not able to do any damage in this fight at all, as finally they do move over, and they finally remove the Yunara from the game without having to ban her. Just that easy.
That was wild what he was able to do there in the last few seconds. Yunara, if he should have committed the barrier there, but was hoping to at least get one trade kill to maybe deny this Otacon on the top side. Maybe BDD goes over and tries to slow them down, but a futile attempt. This Gen.G way better setup, and they were so confident of what their win con is, and has to sit it out until he's 1v5ing. And as well as he almost took Ruler out in that scenario, he doesn't.
Uh-oh. Well, that's going to be the end of Peter there, as fifth death in this one.
At safety, as well as just deny KT entry. Same with
Keen. Keen's positioning there was so cool, actually. This wall is not going to deny Cuz, but a Q is, and, well, they have a bunch of CC to follow that one up. And now the turn comes in after the Baron is taken, and down will go Peter once again. The disengage cone comes through, but looks like maybe Perfect will still be punished. Well, perhaps not, because he is Cassante. Flash forward from Canyon, though. They want a bit more, and they will get Cuz, at least, for the sins of the Blast Cone.
This Cataclysm buys some space here as they look to punish Keen.
All right, Charm comes through, and, well, you're not going to... Oh, they do get him at the very last moment, as Yunara is just insane, but Ruler is insaner.
That was really scary for a second there. If Ruler goes down and Duckdom lives, maybe there's an angle. But 2 times in a row, Duckdom is close, this time much closer than the last. They're not able to end off of this push, even 27 minutes in, but they will just go and take a Hextech. Bit of a TP in here for one of the last few opportunities KT have. The Dragon was not taken yet.
Yeah, I guess they're just going to look for the fight instead. Perfect. Dashing on over. Gen.G certainly want to force this one. Canyon goes in. And, well, we get a nice little ult into the wall. A little celebration from Keen, perhaps.
Duckdom in a good position here.
Follow-up from Peter, looking pretty good, though. As now the Q does come in. Duro just going to try to frontline, but Duckdom still not accounted for. Perfect, going to carry Ruler over. Just, well, he's just going to go down.
He just wants to take his health bar away so Duckdom can kill him, but now it's even health, and I just don't think he can get it done. TP here by both solo laners to end.
Yeah, and I think they're just going to do it. The Ahri's just too low. And he knows where the Yunara is. The Q comes down. Duckdown will be denied. And it looks like he'll just leave the job to Chovy as Keen just denies any back from the Ahri.
Peter's here, but he can't do damage.
Oh, this is beautiful stuff as very much a lot of gold, but I love the way that they're ending this game, denying all the backs and denying any chance, any hope to the side of KT Rolster of denying this 2-0. As Cuz is here, but they're just letting the minions do it. They don't even want to hit the Nexus themselves. Down it will go. And in 30 minutes, Gen.G win game number 2.
These were some of the best highlights from today's matchup. Which moment was your favorite? Let me know in the comment section below. This is OP, and I'll see you tomorrow. Take care.